What do you think about Biden trying to cancel student debt? You think that's something good for
Well,
the raza
he
or
he tried canceling student debt, but the Supreme Court knocked it down. Me personally, maybe controversial. I don't like it. I think that if you went to school and you're going to become a lawyer, or you're going to become something that's, a professional, you got to pay that loan back. You know what that loan was when you got it. You can't come now and start complaining and crying, because if that's the case, let's keep it equal. I think the people that should be forgiven first are the people getting loans for like mechanic school, like trade schools and all that, because those are typically the families and people that need more of the money. Most people that went to colleges, and I have family members that went to college and are running up the college debt. But you know what? That's the game. That's how it works. But for all of a sudden, for the taxpayers to be on the hook, this is the thing. I think a lot of time Democrats, they have great ideas. They love, or they want to help people out so much, but there's only so much money out there. Just people think they can just keep printing money, but printing money makes inflation. I don't believe that the student debt should have got wiped off. So I kind of side with the Supreme Court, because that what's going to stop the next president from saying, "Well, I believe that people in this category that were going to vote for me, they don't have to pay this. You don't have to pay federal taxes here. You don't have to pay federal whatever you." In other words, they could just sign a law into place like that, and I don't think that's right. And I kind of side with the Supreme Court on that. What do you think?
um I think yeah, I think more or less kind of agree with you what you're saying, like more like essential workers, right? Like nurses or
Well, yeah, like no, let's say
like
let's say people who took like trade schools. Like there's mechanic trade schools, there's doing your nails, there's like medical, where you have to get loans, and nowadays the loans are like 40 or $50,000. They're not as high as the as the college loans, but the college loans, you're supposed to get a better job than anybody else, so you're going to be able to afford to pay them. On these other loans, most of the time it's people from low income, and a lot of times they can't afford to pay them. I had to pay myself, about $15,000 to $20,000 on student loans, and I paid them, brother. It's just something you got to do in life. So I don't think that having little Johnny and fucking and little Sarah complaining because they got to pay so much in student loans. Most of the people going to college, not all, but most of the people going to college come from well off families, man.
okay, let me add on to that. Okay, what if like for instance like maybe your mom passed away, your dad or grandpa and something like that, and like you really give your last dime for that burial, and then now like because you're not paying that student debt, they attack your credit, and eventually you're not able to either like rent a house or buy a house
I
or
don't.
because of your credit.
I'm not sure if they do attack your credit with student loans. I just know that they'll garnish your wages, although garnish your income tax when it comes in. But I don't think. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I don't think. But that's just an unfortunate part of life. I mean, it just sucks. That's
But
just an
that's something you wouldn't agree with, right? Like if they do attack us that way, right? That's
no,
something
if
that you're
no,
not
yeah,
with.
if it's something like that, I would hope that there's some kind of system that can say, hey man, I just lost this, and sometimes you do, you pay the bare minimum, but the problem is the finance you're paying on it, you're going to be paying for a very long time. I know some people that will pay the very bare minimum, and they don't care. They'll pay. I'm sure now it's like $100 a month, and they'll pay it for the rest of their lives because they're like, fuck it, it's $100 a month. It is what it is. You can pay a very bare minimum, or you can pay big chunks and get out of it. But we all go through stuff. Think about this right now. I don't know your situation, but let's say you're renting an apartment, or have a house, right? If you get hurt at work tomorrow, or you get hurt in an accident and you can't pay the bills, you can't go to the landlord or the bank and say, hey man, I broke my leg, I can't go to work today. The real world is a jungle. They're gonna be like, well, okay, I feel bad for you, but you owe me some rent. That's just the real world we live in. And to me, should there be programs? And there is, like for unemployment or SSI or disability, there should be programs to help people out like that. But we can't sit here and just across the board say, all right, nobody has to pay their student loans because I promised you that when I was being elected. And that's what it was. It was Joe Biden making a promise that I mean, technically he kept it because he did sign it off, but the Supreme Court came and said, nah, Holmes, you can't do that. You there? You
Yeah,
there?
yeah, I hear you, Gil.
All right.
Yeah, I hear you.
All
All
right.
right, Gil. I'm not gonna take much of your time, man, but it was wise words, man, and I appreciate you having a
I
conversation with me.
appreciate it, Miguel. Thank you, brother. Always calls in with some very good questions, man. All right, what you got? Skill people hating because they wish they was making moves like you. You're going, man. All right, homie, you know what it is. It's the Raider Tommy. What's going on, Tommy? ¿Cómo estás, carnal? Still gonna stay the same. Yeah, homie. Listen, I'm not changing, homie. I'm not changing my content. I'm not changing the person who I am. I'm the same person here. I'm the same person when you meet me on the streets. I'm the same person you meet me at work, homie. I'm the same person all day long. I don't fake the funk for nobody, carnal. Let's see who's calling in. Caller, who's this?
Hey, what's up, Big Gil? It's Chava.
What's up, Chava?
Chilling, brother. I was gonna talk about that student the loan forgiveness topic. I think that it's like a two-sided issue. I feel personally.
Okay.
Like I knew a lot of homeboys that used student loans to get out of the hood, and they went to like community colleges and then the state colleges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And eventually created their own lives. And it does benefit folks that are coming from single parent households that are poor. It does benefit a lot of raza and youth that don't have endless funds from a grandparent or a parent.
Well, can I jump in real quick?
And
I would say that it's true, but it's the other side of the coin of that. If they don't have anybody like that and they went to college, there's a good chance they got some grants in there. They got some funding somewhere. There's a good chance that somewhere they're getting money for it, because I actually did do one semester. I did one semester in college before I got busted, and they paid for everything because I was, believe it or not, because I was on parole.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my situation. We were so poor, man. My mom was a single parent. We would hit up soup kitchens and stuff like that, and my grandparents supported us. I mean, we got financial aid when I went to college, and it paid for everything for free. It would pay for my books, pay my tuition. I didn't have to give any of that back. And the loans would kick in, like in my situation, being from the barrio, being from a single parent household, the loans would kick in like if I needed rent money or if I, typically for American bullshit, like splurging type stuff, right? And that's when you get into deep water. So that is the reality. But I do think that there is some folks that it would reach and it's good. But the thing where it becomes sticky is, so like you're saying, the trade schools don't give out those loan forgivenesses.
They do not.
And that's because I think they're private industries, bro. And they're going to make money off of their school organization.
Let me jump in again. Let me jump in again.
The colleges.
Are you telling me Harvard is not for profit?
No, I mean, yeah, really profiting, right?
Come on, brother. You have professors making well over $200,000. I'm sure the dean of the place makes $500,000. Yeah, those are.
The president is like Sac State. The president is like Los Angeles
It's
State.
the same thing, brother. It's the same.
I get it. I know. But technically, when they file, though, they're like nonprofit. They're government organizations.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly. and they're not making money off of us.
And they're not making money off these huge football programs that brings hundreds of millions of dollars to the program. No, they're making money. I just what I really truly believe it was a campaign promise that Joe Biden made to everybody, so he'd get more of the votes there, which he did, and he did try, but they probably knew ahead of time because. Think about it, bro. That's like let's say a Republican comes in here, right? And when he's running for office, he tells all the red states, all the farmers are gonna not have to pay federal taxes for the next 20 years. All the people, so you're gonna get all the red states that have farmer communities. Oh hell no, I'm gonna go vote for this son of a bitch because I don't gotta pay federal tax. And he comes in and says, you guys are not favorable. It's going to go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's going to tell him the same thing. He's like, no, man, you can't just make up these rules as you go and say these people are not going to pay because you're excluding a whole bunch of people.
That's it. It's an obviously popularity vote. Get the vote. Not going to pass. They probably knew that, and that's what it really was about. It wasn't really about reaching kids like myself or homeboys and homegirls pushing through the college system, trying to become doctors and teachers and things where you need these credentials. It really wasn't. I mean, in a perfect world, in that democratic blue world, you're like, yeah, of course it was. But it really wasn't that. They see it for what it is. They know exactly what the numbers look like. They know exactly what kind of systems they're going to push this through. And they knew it wasn't going to work. And they wanted to get the vote from all the folks in the hood.
There's just no money there.
All the college folks, right?
Yeah, that's what they
want.
College,
like all these. it's all sheep, you know? And so, I mean, I get it. I do think something like that would be useful, just like I think like an IRCA, like an Immigration Reform Control Act, a new one. They can revise that would be good.
I'm
You know,
down
these are
with
things
that.
that need to be done.
Absolutely. No,
Right.
I'm so down with that.
You know
Yes.
that there's a lot of kids that are actually pushing through these college systems that are struggling the fuck. Just like the homeboy that's pushing through the trade school, trying to figure
Right.
out what kind of union he's going to join, who's going to mentor him, where he's going to get his training from and his tools from. Maybe he did some time, maybe he's just fresh out the county, maybe he's not done no time, but he's struggling just like these other folks are, these
Right.
youth.
Right.
And so, I mean, there's legitimacy behind that. You know what I mean, Gil?
No,
There's a legitimacy to helping-
listen, there definitely
helping
is.
academics out.
And if we were a country that didn't spend
It is scary, though, to see
didn't
where
throw
that
so
money
much
would
money
come from.
away, we can
Yeah.
sit there and I'd be all for it, brother. I would definitely like, all right, dude,
Yeah.
we got the money, but the reality is we don't have the money in this country. We don't. We're
That's the question, right?
yeah, we don't have the money.
Where would it come from?
Where
Are
would
the
it come
banks-
from? If you guys enjoyed this clip and want to see some more, click right here. If you guys want to see the full interview, click right here. Thanks for watching.